morning. As you are aware, this hostage situation began at 2:47 p.m. on Friday, May 10th. Trenton police officers were dispatched for a residence check in the 200 block of Grant Street. The phone call came from a family member of Carmelita Stevens, age 44, who had not heard from Stevens in a period of time. Police further received additional information, from another family member that Stevens' two daughters had not been to school in 12 days. When officers did not receive a response at the door, and fearing for the safety of the family, they made a forced entry into the home through a rear door and immediately smelled an odor consistent with a decomposing body. The officers also noticed maggots throughout the residence. Once inside the residence, the officers heard a male voice coming from the upstairs and went to investigate. They determined that the voice was coming from the front bedroom behind a closed door. Officers began to engage the male, later identified as Gerald Tyrone Murphy, age 38, who informed the officers that there was a deceased individual in the room with him and another deceased individual in the rear bedroom. At that point, the officers forced entry into the rear bedroom, where they discovered a body in an advanced state of decomposition, thus far unidentified. The officers continued to engage Murphy in conversation and learned that he had 3 children barricaded in the room with him. Murphy also stated that he was armed with a gun and explosives. The officers then secured the rest of the residence and located Ms. Stevens' 19-year-old son in the basement unharmed. While interviewing the 19-year-old son, it was learned that he had not seen his mother or sisters since approximately April 24th. Now at this point, I'd like to turn over the press conference to our Mercer County Prosecutor, Joseph Bocchini, Jr.
Thank you, Director. Good morning, everyone. As Director Rivera indicated, I am Mercer County Prosecutor Joseph Bocchini. At this point in time, we're in the very early stages of the investigation, but we have determined and confirmed several pieces of information. Gerald Tyrone Murphy, also known as Skip, was found to have an arrest warrant out of Pennsylvania for failing to register as a sex offender. In addition, on Friday, officers on Grand Street observed Murphy brandishing a black handgun through the window. It was also determined that Murphy had an extensive record involving violence. He has convictions for aggravated assault and criminal conspiracy. He has also been arrested for robbery and weapons offenses, as well as child endangerment. Colonel Fuentes will discuss the details of the state police's entry into the residence, which led to the rescue of the 3 children and the apprehension of Murphy. After the rescue, you should know that the 3 children, 2 females, ages 18 and 16 respectively, and a 4-year-old boy, were taken to a medical center for evaluation and treatment. I'd also like to report that the 19-year-old boy was medically evaluated and is now safely residing with his family. There are also allegations that the 18 and 16-year-old girls were abused and assaulted during the time they were held hostage. Our preliminary investigation has revealed that the murder of Ms. Stevens took place approximately 2 weeks ago. in addition to the murder of the 13-year-old boy. At this point, arrangements are being made for the children to have all medical, counseling, and all other services that they will need. The children will be evaluated by the Division of Child Protection and Permanency, and then placed with a family member. On behalf of Director Rivera, I would like to thank the Trenton Police Department, members of my office, New Jersey State Police, Mercer County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, ICE, Trenton Fire Department, Chief of the Len Carmichael of the Fire Department, the Trenton Emergency Management teams, Signal 22, Trenton Public Works Department, and various city agencies and volunteers. I'd also like to thank the residents of the Grand Street area and the surrounding area for their patience and cooperation as this investigation unfolded. At this juncture, I will now turn the podium over to Colonel Fuentes. Colonel.
Thank you, Mr. Prosecutor, Director, and all the heroes that are standing behind me right now. You have to understand, in my comments, I'm going to be brief. We're working an active crime scene right now, as well as a shooting investigation involving our members. Our mission over the last 37 hours was to save innocent lives. For days, the lives of 3 children were placed at great risk by the presence of one individual who was their captor, Gerald Tyrone Murphy, age 38. Today, those children have been rescued from a deadly threat and horrible circumstances at the hands of an armed subject. Thankfully, over the course of this 37-hour standoff with an armed subject, no law enforcement officers were injured. This was accomplished through teamwork involving the departments that the prosecutor just mentioned, in particular the Trenton Police Department and the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office. The state police participation began when the Trenton Police Department requested our assistance to handle a barricaded subject in a 2-story apartment building located at 250 Grand Avenue, or Grand Street in Trenton. Since we responded late in the afternoon on Friday, approximately 60 troopers of various technical skills have been deployed. We brought our teams unit, which had primary responsibility, and that's our tactical group, which is similar to a SWAT team. Also responding were our trained hostage negotiation team, our K-9 teams, our bomb unit, major crime, and several other units. Because of the length of this event, 37 hours, we have 2 incident commanders with significant tactical experience that were assigned to direct our response. They're over my left shoulder here, and I'm joined today by those 2 incident commanders, Major Danny Mitten and Major Brian McPherson. Also here with me today from the division is Lieutenant Colonel Ed Setnar, who's Deputy Superintendent in charge of our field operations, which are our 1,800 uniforms. Our hostage negotiators maintained contact with Murphy throughout the event, and our team's members took up tactical positions from which they could move in quickly when needed. During this whole incident, the welfare of the children who were being held hostage was of paramount concern. We passed food and bottled water through an upper window, watching and waiting for the best opportunity to end this standoff safely. That opportunity came 37 hours after the first police response, about 3:45 a.m. this morning. Team's members made entry to the upstairs apartment, confronted Murphy, and rescued the 3 children, ages 18, 16, and 4. Preliminary information from the investigation now being conducted indicates that following our entry, a single shot was fired by our entry team to stop a threatening action against one of the children by Murphy. Murphy was wounded, taken into custody, and transported to the Fold Medical Center by Trenton EMS. He has since died of his injuries. The 3 children, as were pointed out, were taken to a hospital where they're undergoing evaluation and treatment. The investigation which is being conducted right now is being run by the Attorney General's Shooting Response Team, which includes members of the Division of Criminal Justice and our State Police Major Crimes Unit. They're currently investigating the entry and the taking of the subject. And we'll open now for questions.
Colonel, can you talk about the the entry, was there a specific threat that made the troopers move in, or was it simply a matter of the time being right?
Well, I'm not going to go into tactics and techniques other than to say we did have evidence that there was a deteriorating state of mind here on the part of the subject, and we felt that within the next 24 hours he was going to take some kind of an action, and we needed to interrupt that.